Hello everyone, welcome back for another video. And today we're gonna be talking about Black Clover. And yeah, today we got a new chapter, and I'm not lying, it was hype. I really enjoyed it. And in this chapter, I think Asta just got a new transformation. Like even until it ended in a cliffhanger, but I'm really happy about the fact that Liebe and Asta are about to join the same body, and I just can't wait for the next chapter. Let's go with this chapter and talk about it. The cover of the chapter, and we saw Asta and Liebe sitting like in front of each other, and in the background we saw Lisita, and it looked great. It looked really good. I loved it. That's the thing. And also the name of this chapter is Hunting Ground of Darkness, and it really makes sense if you just keep watching, and I'm gonna explain why I feel like it makes sense. The name makes sense. Anyway, what after we got after the cover, we just see training by himself, and like he's really fighting, and I'm really happy that they showed fighting, because all we've been seeing is mostly Asta training with Knight and like his vice captain, but we haven't really seen we know that Yuno's been training because he has to train, because he didn't beat his ass. He really didn't have it. I mean, even though he kind of hurt Xena, but yeah. And we also learned that Noah's training with the elves, and we haven't seen them train anymore, but we just know that there's training, and Noah has to get stronger, so she'll secretly give little Pika. See her name. Anyway, in this chapter, we see that training, and he's really sad, and he's really exhausting, and then he just when he was exhausting, he just said that why don't you just come out, and then we saw the vice captain Linguist, vice captain of the Golden Dawn, Linguist, said former vice captain of the Golden Dawn. And then we saw that and Linguist for conversation. They had a conversation about the fact that Linguist for telling that he doesn't need to call him vice captain, because he's no longer the captain, even though he can't really lose him, but he's no longer the vice captain. And he also asked him for the wind spirit, and he told him that Belle was training when she was inside the grimoire, and she was training and keeping her magic. And we also learn how smart he is, and he's already thinking of a way that he already planned a way to defeat Xena. And yeah, and we learned that he already think of a way, but he just didn't know. He just doesn't know if it's gonna be effective and all. And yeah, and we learned that Linguist asked if he could train with him, because he also is a spatial magic user, and he could help him train. And he also could, the reason and that was a really good way, and he really could really help and because the reason is simple, and because Xena has special magic. At least his devil has special magic, and Xena has born magic. And when he borrowed the devil's magic, he has special two magic. Yeah, that's great. Anyway, yeah, like I said, he's really a good opponent. Yeah, I can't really say that word. He's a really good opponent for because now he could truly check if his magic gonna be effective against Xena. And also, even though Linguist, he actually make a lot of improvement, even though he still has a cocky face of his. Yeah, even though he's still cocky, he actually asking for help instead of just feeling jealous and kind of thing like that, and wanting to be the number one. And also we learned that he actually make a lot of improvement, and we also learned that saying that he should really get stronger, because like him, it really affect the Golden Dawn if they want revenge. And Linguist told him that he was just arrogant. And then we went back to Asta and Liebe versus Knight, and they got really beat up and messed up right there. And I don't really know. And Knight just said that to them, that they lost once again. And yeah, and Asta was just thinking that Knight is really strong, and it's not that he wasn't even serious. He was just playing with them. And I'm also really interested about his transformation. Like, how much does the transformation increase his power, or will he still be able to be Asta and Liebe if he's just normal power like dark magic and kind of stuff like that? And also his power is called Union, and I don't really know how does that work. We really need them to explain the power of Union and stuff. And Liebe was quite Asta was quite mad because he was asking the question. He was like thinking about why can't he and Libby do it like Knight could, and yeah, he can't really do the union thing and like fuse together and like yeah. And Asta was just calling to get some in a basket of food like sugary food, and also they were healing food, and I'm quite interested about that. And also it turned out that the food that they're eating, it is made by the Spade Kingdom, and it turns out that the Spade Kingdom users are helping Asa train his body so Asa could defeat them. Yeah, they were fighting, and also we see that Libby, and also Libby was thinking about how every time they fight, they always lose, and in one of the chapters we see that Libby was on top of Asa, and they were saying combining thing. And yeah, that's really funny actually. And Libby is really embarrassed about that. And they were yelling at each other and talking about like there's a 90, and they were talking about like union, and it turns out the union is when like they have only one body and they have two souls. I mean, that's probably only for Asa, but for Knight, I'm pretty sure he's the only soul. He like have complete control over them. And then we saw we saw a flashback with him talking with some guy, and we saw him having a flashback, and then he was talking about like being a good kid and things like that. I don't really get that. Why is he having a flashback like that? But anyway, then we saw him saying to us that we have to get back into fighting because it's almost time. The 3 day training is almost up. Actually, 2 days training. I'm pretty sure the 2 days training up, and then we finally see Knight getting serious, really serious, and then he's telling Asa that if he doesn't train, doesn't beat him, he might as well die. And yeah, and that's quite creepy. Now we learned that he's able to use Mana Zone, and yeah, he used Mana Zone hunting Ground of Darkness, and like the whole mansion turned into a whole darkness. Like you can't really see nothing at all. You see Asa's getting floating around. He's getting his ass beat and saying that he can't really sense anything at all. And that was just same creepy, almost exactly like Dante when he was in like his 80% state, and like their eyes look almost the same, except yeah, they look pretty much the same. And Asa was still getting his ass beaten, and then he's saying that he can't really see nothing. And he was quite mad. He said he even told they're fighting like that, even though they're like on the verge of dying. And that even then they can't really fuse. And Asa was mad. And Libby was said that he wants power, and we were seeing their top, and they were quite pissed about the fact that they couldn't get the power. And then we saw that. And then we saw that Asa was saying that he needs to be able to get the union mode, and so that they could save Yami. And Libby was saying that he wanna avenge Lisita's death. And yeah, but after that, and yeah, and they were saying that they can't die, they can't, because they need to get revenge, and Asa needs to save Yami. Yeah, and then also at the same time they have the same title. They said that they can't die. They said that I can't let him die, and they said that they can't die. And under the darkness, we see that Knight face. He was so surprised, and then out of the darkness, we saw an eye like an eye has like a diamond like in a diamond pupil, and this says a new awakened power. And yeah, I just can't wait for the next chapter, and I really loved it. And yeah, like I said, for like the title of the chapter, almost everything, like it all has to do with darkness. And yeah, like I said, I can't wait for the next chapter. If also, I really want to see Asta new transformation. I really don't want them to change, like go back to Noel and the other people. And I really want to see them train, but I kind of want to see Asta like getting fighting hard and kind of things like that. So yeah. Anyway, if you like the video, like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you. If you also want to give me your own opinion, so I can